What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. I'm doing this because this is the perfect example of something I've preached as it relates to my um, going to Africa. I've said to you that one of the many roadblocks that I've run into over the years in my research is people that are there. They don't give you the information. They're not thorough. And that's very handicapping to not just me, but anybody who is trying to make the journey or who has already made the journey. We need as much information as we can before we're on the ground. I accept that there's some things that you can't know until you're on the ground. I get that. But there's many things that you can know, and they don't show them. Now, as I said to you in my last video, it is Senegal. It's Senegal, everybody. But indeed, it's going to be Gambia. Interesting, because Gambia was one of the very first countries that I looked at way back in 2015. It was one of the first countries that I started with when I started looking at the different countries to figure out which country was going to be good for me. And because of all of the antics with Ghana, by the way, shout out to Marcus the Lion. I watched those videos that you sent on Instagram of the brother who was doing the live, which got on my nerves because he's talking to all of his people in the room before he gets to the damn topic. And so it's a nightmare. But I appreciate you. And his information is just not helpful, because the official word still is, if you are vaccinated, then you don't need to show a PCR test at the airport or anything. You just sail through, no issues. And also, there's a different provision if you are Ghanaian, a citizen returning. But for my category, someone who's coming from the United States who is not vaccinated and is not going to be vaccinated ever, it still remains the same. You're going to have to be vaccinated. If you don't show up with a vaccination, then you also are going to have to, still have to have the PCR thing 72 hours before, and they're still going to vaccinate you at the airport. Trust me, I've been very, very, very vigilant on this. And the last thing that I can even imagine or could even take in my life is I get all the way there and then I have bad information. You see, you can't do that. If I was just going to Texas, that's different, So, so sadly, as for now, Ghana is out. And I say for now because I believe, as I've said to you many times, this is not sustainable for economic reasons. Primarily, it's not going to be sustainable for them to continue with this mandatory vaccine shit, So that's fine. So I through a process of elimination, I landed on Senegal because I began to look at countries that also don't require a visa free, or visa on arrival. You understand? I can't take any more of the bureaucracy, and it's just stressing me out too much. So, and as I've told you all, the prince, my nephew, is traveling with me, and it's uncertain at this juncture whether or not he's going to want to make the decision to live there or not. But I've just got a sneaking suspicion, I don't want to whatever. But Gambia, because Senegal is a French speaking country. That's their main language is French. And it's just something that's just fucked up for me about being in a all black country where they're speaking French to me. That just disconnects my wires some kind of way, you know. There's another African country, the name of it I still can't call, and its number one language is Spanish. Now, I speak Spanish, but still there's something a little Dr. Frankensteinish about being in an all black African country and we're all speaking Spanish. I can't. Anyways, and that's in East Africa, anyways. So, one of the other things that makes Gambia attractive is that it is West Africa, and English is the language in the Gambia. Also, Gambia, if you compare Senegal to Gambia, Senegal or Gambia is more like Ghana than Senegal, you know. And you know, as far as the type of lifestyle that I want to have, and you know, the atmospherics and things like that, Gambia gives it to me. You know, I want those big, busy markets, you know, with people just honking and bustling, and you know, the women carrying a bunch of the women and the men carrying stacks and stacks of shit on their head, and where I can, you know, barter, you know, for my garments, and I can barter for, you know, my food, and all those sorts of things. Uh, anyways, so sadly, Delta Airlines does not fly into the Gambia, but that's fine because we will get a chance to have the Senegalese experience. We will fly into Dakar. And I also think that's good because I do want my nephew to have a as rounded of an experience as he can. You know, I'm more eclectic and I don't need a lot of stuff. I think he has a little bit of that gene in him as well, but I also think that he should experience, um, you know, a more modern, um, you know, atmosphere. You know that you know some of the cities in Senegal offer. You know, and I just I think that you know that well I know that that will be best for him. You know, I want him to have a fully rounded experience. The other reason it's Gambia, and I'm getting ahead of myself, so that we will fly into Dakar, and then from there it's a 6-hour road trip to the Gambia, and everything that I've been able to learn. There is a bus company. I've seen the fleet of buses with my own eyes, and you can hop a bus and make that trip from Senegal to the Gambia. And that's nothing, you know, because you know, in this country, I've been all across this country on Greyhound from one coast to the next and all of that, so I'm good, you know. And the other thing that makes Gambia attractive is the money exchange rate. You know, um, while compared to the United States, Senegal is still um, a cheap country to live in. Um, Most people that you see, whether they are Senegalese or if they're just Africans from another country or Americans, they all say that Senegal is expensive, you know. And I take that with a grain of salt because I realize that probably 99.999% of all the people I've ever seen in any of the videos that I've watched, they live a very different lifestyle than me. You know, they need a bunch of creature comforts and shit. I don't need that, you know, and they probably need, you know, some luxury, you know, and then not only just the luxury and the creature comforts, but then some of them, they have families and children, so they need more, you know, so it can be more expensive for them, you know. So I get that, but I just don't, you know, I don't need a lot of stuff. So um Gambia is attractive for me, you know. And while both of them are Muslim countries, um, the Gambia is like almost 99% Muslim, you know. And in fact, there's going to be an exchange in this video I'm going to show you, um, because the other thing that upsets me is, as it relates to now Senegal and Gambia, you know, these are Muslim countries. And most people that you can just do your own search. Just watch anything from Senegal or Gambia, people that are there and shit. They never mention it's a Muslim country. Like, that should stand out. That's like you go to China and you don't mention that the people there don't have slanted eyes, that their eyes are unique. That would stand out. Or you don't mention that all the signage and the stuff is written in like Mandarin and shit. That you would mention that. Yeah, I can't, but they don't. And that also makes me sick. The other thing about Gambia, everybody, is that Gambia is a place where you really could do something extraordinary, because they are without industry, um, and production. Um, Most of their GDP comes from agriculture, you know. Um, so you could do just about anything, and be successful, you know. So I also think that I'm going to do another round of fundraising, everybody. Um, yeah, you know, I think we're going to need it. I really do, because as it is, now that my nephew is going to be part of the equation, you know, he's just getting started in life. So he doesn't have any holdings and, you know, um, finances. So just even his flights, plural, because we have to get him a flight from upstate New York, Buffalo to JFK, JFK to Senegal. I already have my plane tickets. And but he has, and we also have to line it up so that the flight that he takes, so that when he comes from Buffalo and flies to JFK, then the flight that he's going to be on from JFK to Senegal needs to be my flight so that we can be together. So it's a little bit of a shell game trying to line that up. And I should also share with you that it would be in your best interest to do your own search. Just go on any travel site and start putting in destinations from America to anywhere but Africa and see what the ticket prices are. Anywhere but Africa, see what the ticket prices are. But then I want you to also have a crash team of specialists and an IV and a Valium and a shot of Jack Daniels and tequila when you put in a search for any country in Africa and you see how much it is. You see, racism in travel, the white man is the devil. And so in everything they pollute, and particularly and specifically when it comes to us. This is our glorious homeland. And in addition to showing you a propaganda image of any country that they show, they don't show the reality at all. In addition to that, they make it more expensive for you to go there. You see, it's that's why I say these people are the devil. Because what else do you call someone that dwells this consistently and is this dedicated to evil? What do you call that? What else do you call it? If you got another name, I'm happy to adopt it. I'm happy to adopt it. I'm happy to adopt it. So, as I say, I'm going to do another round of fundraising. If at the very least, I think that I would probably like to at least cover my nephew's plane ticket. So I think that probably $2,000 would be reasonable, just to make sure that we didn't underbid ourselves, so to speak. And I'm not going to set up a GoFundMe because GoFundMe takes even though it's very, very minuscule, they get a fee. And on Cash App, there is no fee, So I want, 100% of the donations to go towards this, GoFundMe is very convenient and all that stuff. Excuse me. But again, there is a nominal fee, so 100% of the donation is not going to the cause, That's very important. That's very important. That's very important. So I want to show this because it's only a 4-minute video. Yet it's titled Our Road Trip from the Gambia to Senegal. A road trip. So I don't care what you're doing. A road trip you don't describe in 4 minutes. I don't. But I want to illustrate all the glaring things that they're leaving out, you see? And so, as I've said to you, I know my abilities. I know the talents I've been given, and I know how I am as a human being. This is why I will be of value to anyone who is going to witness my videos from Africa. Because I'm a detailed person anyway, and I really don't know how to really shorthand anything in life, quite frankly. That's why I'm so long-winded, If I tell you something, I got to tell all of it. I tell all of it. Certainly if I'm telling a story or recounting someplace that I've been or experience I had or something I did, I tell it all. Tell it all. That's just natural. But apparently not. So this is their road trip from the Gambia to Senegal. Hear this now.
Okay, family, so it's another morning in Gambia, and now, third day here, and we're on a road trip to Senegal.
Now, they probably have other videos that because I'm only seeing this. So let me put that disclaimer. But I'm coming to this for the first time. So you have to do your jurisprudence, at least for the critical stuff. So she's in a car. This is how the video opens up. You saw it. And where were you? You're saying this is day 3. Where were you? Were you in a house? Were you in an apartment? Were you in a shack? Where were you? What? Like, show where you're at. Show you going to this car. Did you take any luggage? How are you, like, who's with you? These things matter. It's nothing if you're watching it for entertainment, you understand? And you're not somebody that's even going to Africa. But for somebody like me, we need every single morsel, man. Every drop. We need it. So now, day 3, she says, okay, so let's go on.
How exciting is that? So as it turns out, family, it was Harmattan during this time, and that is actually a cloud of dust that blows into West Africa from the Sahara.
She's not completely right, but there is a season where there is a lot of dust. Like even Gambians it gets on their nerves. Even there's a sister that I follow. Her name is Khadijah. Oh my God. Sadly, she's too young for me. But from her first video, when she goes, "Hi, I'm Khadijah," I fell in love. Like I was like, I think that's my wife, you know. But alas, it wasn't to be. She's way too young. Anyways, which I don't know what that means because I'm only 20, so not understanding. Anyways, so I know about that. This dust that blows at a certain during a certain season. All right. So she's saying it's that time of year, and so we'll pick it up in context.
Third day here, and we're on a road trip to Senegal. How exciting is that? So as it turns out, family, it was Harmattan during this time, and that is actually a cloud of dust that blows into West Africa from the Sahara Desert, and that prevented the ferry from making its way back to us in time for us to take the ferry across.
Now, what ferry? What ferry? I'm being facetious now because I know the ferry. I know the whole thing that you when you get there you have to take the ferry over to Banjul. Excuse me. I know that, but you don't know that. And so if I didn't know that, this is what I'm illustrating to you. What ferry? She just says the ferry. She's just introducing this as if, and this is their first time going, so she doesn't even know. So again, no information. Hear this now.
During this time, and that is actually.
Do you see there? By the way, did you see that Muslim sister?
How exciting is that? So as it turns
Wait.
out,
Which most all these people are Muslim, but there was specifically a sister that was in hijab.
During this time.
Look at that. That's glaring. You see? But she's just yakking on. And she never mentions that this is a Muslim country. That's the other issue that I've had over the years, everybody. Everybody that's going to fucking Africa is not a Muslim. None of them. They're all Christians. So they go with a whole different personality than me, a whole different outlook on life than me, a different character than it's all just like nah. But go on.
And that is actually a cloud of dust that blows into West Africa from the Sahara Desert, and that prevented the ferry from making its way back to us in time.
What ferry?
For us to take the ferry across and make the road trip before the 9 p.m. curfew in Senegal. So we decided to take the ferry over the next morning instead.
What 9 p.m. curfew?
We took a private vehicle, an SUV, which we got into and got on the ferry.
Okay, you took a private vehicle, an SUV. Where'd you get the SUV? What type of SUV? Did you pay for it? And if so, how much? Is somebody driving you? Who is that? Show that person who's driving you. Show you driving to this point where you're taking the ferry. Again, these are huge gaps that you need. You need this. I can't. So hear that again now. Now that I've given you that context.
For us to take the ferry across and make the road trip before the 9 p.m. curfew Senegal, so we decided to take the ferry.
And by the way, she doesn't explain it, but luckily I know this. The curfew she's talking about, because Gambia and Senegal are one, but because of colonization and political bullshit, Senegal actually surrounds the Gambia. It used to be one. That's why you'll hear some people say Senegambia, you know, and the Gambia was because Senegal is under French colonization. Even their money is the fucking French franc. But Gambia used to be under the British, and it's no longer under the British anymore. You understand? So they're their own thing. But because they're one, there's a border. Just like I live in California, so the Mexican border, I could drive to the border, you feel me, and think of Mexico as the Gambia, so, or Senegal, either way. So you can go into Senegal, but to trade, to work, and do all those things, but there's a curfew that you're supposed to now go back. You can't stay in the country. You need to go back over to Gambia. So that's the curfew she's talking about. But nobody really adheres to it all like that. They ain't really checking. So just moving on.
Us to take the ferry across and make the road trip before the 9 p.m. curfew in Senegal. So we decided to take the ferry over the next morning instead, and we took a private vehicle, an SUV, which we got into and got on the ferry in Banjul, Gambia, and rode across to Bara, Gambia, and then the vehicle took us up maybe 20 or 30 minutes from where we got off the ferry.
And you see,
we encountered...
she's doing all the shacking and voiceover, and she's not showing us anything. We don't know what we're looking at. We're not having a road trip. And the title of the video is Our Road Trip from the Gambia to Senegal. But again, not showing anything. Again, you're traveling. What sights are you seeing along the way? What do the people look like? What structures are you seeing? What's the atmosphere? What's the weather? You know, how fast are you going? Are you on a paved road? Are you on a dirt road? I mean, these are things that I hunger for. I need to have a picture. And they're just yakking and giving nothing. You see?
To the ferry from making its way back to us in time for us to take the ferry across and make the road trip before the 9 p.m. curfew in Senegal. So we decided to take the ferry over the next morning instead, and we took a private vehicle, an SUV, which we got into and got on the ferry in Banjul, Gambia, and rode across to Bara, Gambia.
But
and then
you don't show any of that.
The vehicle took us up.
So you don't know anything of what the ferry looks like. Did you have to pay to get on the ferry? I know you had to pay to get on the ferry. It's like 90-something cents, you know, when you transfer the Dalasi to the American dollar. But anyways, again, you don't know that if I didn't tell you. That's my gripe. That's why I'm doing this video. Do you understand? What ferry? What does it look like? How many people were on it? What is there more than one? What hours does it go? How many cars does it hold? What did that look like? Where do you park? Did you stay in the car on the ferry? Did you get out of the car? And did you ride in a different section of the ferry? How long is it, the ride across the what's that, the Gambia River? Don't quote me on that. Anyways, again, what? This is the type of stuff that I am harvesting, everybody, when I'm doing my research. I'm harvesting this type of information among the type of information that I'm harvesting. I need all of these answers. I need it. You need it. Anybody needs it. You understand? And not just for Gambia or Senegal. This is the case in any country that you would be trying to look at. This is the issues that I've run into, even with Ghana. People don't show you stuff. They're not telling you stuff. You need stuff. So she's yakking along and we're getting nothing. Let's go on.
And got on the ferry in Banjul, Gambia, and rode across to Bara, Gambia, and then the vehicle took us up maybe 20 or 30 minutes from where we got off the ferry. We encountered immigration, and so we went through Gambia.
Okay, what the immigration look like? What the people that look like that run the immigration? What the office look like? Was it an office? Was there other people there that were dealing with this same issue? What was that experience? What did you need to do at immigration? Excuse me. What'd you have to pay? If you had to pay anything, how much was that? Was there a wait? What? We went to immigration. What does that mean? What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything if you don't have any information. And if you're looking for information, that won't mean anything. And meanwhile, the scenery is just passing by. We have no idea where we're at.
In immigration and got our passport stamped to leave the country. And then
what did the stamp look like? Who stamped it?
Right next door is the Senegalese immigration, and we got our passports stamped to enter that country. So, hello, family. I'm so excited. We just took the ferry over.
Who is we? Who's with you? Who's driving? What does this SUV look like? What side of the car are you sitting on? Are you sitting in the front? Are you in the back? Where are you? What? What are you seeing along the way? What?
From Banjul, Gambia. We just got our passport stamped, and we're about to start traveling through Senegal till our destination, which is
So they've arrived in Senegal.
Just short of Dakar, and and we're about to start traveling through Senegal till our destination, which is just short of Dakar. And there's a lot of misinformation. For example, I was told that I would need a visa to come in. I was told that I would need a COVID test to come in. We did not need any of that. All we did was show our passport, advise them what our occupation was, do our fingerprints, take the photo, and we were fine. And now we've got...
Okay, fingerprints and photographs. Well, what did that cost? Was that free? What happened? You see? These are the gaps that are missing, everybody. These are the gaps. These are the gaps. And goes back to what I said in my opening when I was giving Marcus my update. You know, this is why that's a problem. You understand? Because you don't have anybody giving you firm information. Everybody's just lackadaisical. They're more concerned about just doing a video for their clicks and views and being on camera and shit or whatever they're doing. And their agenda is absolutely not the focus on what it is that you are here to bring. It's everything else but that. Very, very frustrating. You understand? And you'll see the difference in my work and this shit. Yeah, God love the sister. You know, so this is not a strike at her personally. This is a strike at just inconsistent ass people who don't know how to be thorough. That's what this is a strike at. You understand? So you will see my work will be vastly different. Vastly different. Every detail I've said to you. The only thing I probably won't film is me going to the bathroom, and I might just film that. And I'm not really joking. Because it's that important. If you're going to lay a path for others to follow, you got to lay a path. You can't leave potholes. You can't leave sinkholes. You leave a path. so that those who come behind you can do it smoothly. Do you understand? Let's go on. We're almost done.
Got our passport stamped, and we're on our way. I am sleepy. I know I'm looking sleepy, but I just wanted to make sure to
See,
give you this information. We are
she's
set.
concerned about how she's looking and all that, and she's looking mostly at herself in the monitor and not looking at you, not looking at the camera lens. You see, that also just sends me up a wall with anybody that does that. I don't care what they're covering or talking about.
Got our passport stamped, and we're on our way. I am sleepy.
See?
I know I'm looking
She's
sleepy.
talking to herself, in love with herself. Most of these damn YouTuber people are do that
We
shit.
are set to travel forth.
Now look. What? Who's driving? Who's in the car? What car are you in? Where are you at? What are we looking at? And you're filming out the window, so the shit is going by at 60 miles an hour. How about you turn the camera so that we feel like we're sitting in the seat too, and we're riding in the car? How about that? There's a novel idea. It's just, I can't. Look. Look. You see?
And notice here, family, that we're out in the countryside in Senegal, and we see that there are electricity poles.
Now we learn that they're in the countryside in Senegal.
And lines. So apparently our people have electric out there.
Now, that was good. That was perfect almost, actually. That's the type of stuff you want to notice and share. Look, there's electric poles. We're out in the countryside. Our people have electricity out here. You see? It's not some barren wasteland like this white demon has told you. That was perfect. That's the type of stuff you want to do. I didn't kill this damn music, though.
This is Kawalak.
She's saying it wrong. I have to see it in order to say it. I know it. You know, it's the largest. It's the largest city in Senegal, because Banjul is the capital of Gambia, and then this city that she's saying that I have to see it in order to say it is the largest city there. There's even a Adams. Is it Adam? Mount Market or something. Very huge market, very bustling. Like it's the spot, you know. Like that's just from my own knowledge of knowing. You understand? But again, she should have said that.
This is Kawalak. Like I don't know, like a junction center.
Now, mind you, everybody's not in traditional clothing, but a lot of the women are in hijab and dressed modest. She's somehow from America. That would stand out. But no mention. No mention. Now watch.
Like
Look.
I don't know, like a junction center. Roads going all different directions.
Look, and again, still just got the camera turned out the window. Could you turn the camera, miss? So we could get a perspective? Could you turn to the other side across the driver or whoever you're sitting next to so we see the other side and things like that? Yeah, again, nothing. Nothing.
For the country.
Now. Wait. There's a grand mosque that's there. Look. She doesn't mention it and she's filming it. You don't mention it. You see? Like, why are you doing this video? Why? What's the point? Who's it for? And why? But there's a grand mosque and no mention. And I suspect that, because I don't know when they filmed this, the video says a year ago. I don't know what that means, but this could be a Friday, because Friday is our day of worship as Muslims. Like I came in from the mosque a few hours ago myself, so this could be on a Friday, and that's why all the people are there. You understand? Because obviously the mosque is packed. I mean, there's literally hundreds and hundreds of people that are there. We could see that, and she makes the comment, "Is all this for the mosque?" But doesn't mention to you anything about the mosque. But she makes that comment. You'll hear it.
Go in all different directions for the country.
She said a lot of cars here, all at the mosque. So that would be your opportunity to say, by the way, family, this is a Muslim country and this is a mosque. You see all our people that are Muslim? You see this? You feel me? But no. And then you could barely hear it. It hasn't come up yet. It's about to come up right now, but I'm going to say it because just in case you don't hear it. The driver must have said something. And then she said, "Oh, are you Muslim too?" Again, another opportunity to share with the audience, this is a Muslim country, and oh my God, look, everybody, we're the only pathetic Christians in this bitch. Or something, something. I don't know. I don't want to put words in the mouth. All right, moving on. Hear this now. By the way, that yelling in the back, it's not clear because of the audio that's on their microphone and speakers and stuff, but that's the adhan, the call to prayer being made from the minaret. You hear that? She goes, "You're Muslim too?" Here. You see? And we couldn't hear his answer, but my money's going to be on, he said, "Yes, I am. I would be willing to put my money on that." You see? But again, she doesn't mention it to the audience. And this is glaring. This is like, also in Senegal, there's a very famous lake called the Pink Lake. Inshallah, we will see it when we get there. And it's like you were by the Pink Lake and you didn't mention it. This is that for me. Like, some stuff just tells itself. But you can't get anything out of these people. No idea what we're looking at. You see, again, just out one window. No forward view. Nothing on the other side of the street. Where are you? How many people are out and about? What do the vehicles look like? Are people on motorcycles? Are they on bikes? Are they in cars? What are the cars they're driving? You see,
And this was our road trip.
And that's it. And that was a road trip. Ooh, it wore me out. They show, it wore me out. Come on. I didn't see a road trip in this video. I just didn't see it. And again, this is not to diss the sister. This is just one example, everybody, to illustrate what I've said to you since I started this. I said one of the things that I will do, because I don't see people doing it, I will show everything, because this is what I've been running into since the beginning. No matter what country I'm looking at, this is the type of stuff you get. Some is better than others, some is worse than others, whatever. But what they all have in common is none of them are completely thorough. You never have a beginning, a middle, and an end on anything that they're showing you or telling you. You know, um, nothing. Like, you need to have perspective. You need to have the best mental picture that you can have, and perception of what your experience will be like on the ground. You need that because that will matter to the navigation on the ground. Do you understand? That will matter. She doesn't even mention that there's buses that go. She doesn't mention it. I mean, this is the type of stuff we're running into. So, hopefully that says it better than I could ever have told it to you, no matter how many times I've said it to you. This says it, you know? Like, you leaving her video as a layman, having no idea the distance from Senegal to the Gambia and vice versa. You don't know that. You don't know it because they didn't tell it. You don't have any idea what the roads are like because they didn't show it. You don't have any idea of the cost of anything because they never mentioned it. You don't have any idea of the population, the atmospherics, how people are dressed, what they are wearing, what they look like. Nothing. The architecture, the buildings. You don't know any of it. Yet, the video says, our road trip from the Gambia to Senegal. But we didn't see it. We didn't see a road trip. We just didn't see it. We didn't see it. It just didn't have it. And we don't have any information on this ferry that she mentioned. Was that something that flies in the air, or was that something they were actually on? We don't know. We just don't have the information. We just don't have it. Just don't have it. So hopefully this is an aha moment for you, that somewhere in your psyche you're going, oh, I get it, Jedi. I get it. I get it. You're right. I can see what you're saying, you know? And then you can see where there is a need for the Jedi, you know? Not just in Gambia and Senegal, but across the entire damn continent, if you ask me. You know, you need somebody to really tell it, really give it, really bring it, you know? Really bring it. You know, if, and I don't know if they're in traffic right there, are they stopped, are they, I don't know. But something like this, I would stop and be like, brother, can I see, like, what are you carrying? I would film that. What's your name, brother? Are you Muslim? Of course he is. But are you Muslim? What's this fabric you're wearing? You know, did you make that? Did somebody make that for you? Did you buy that? Where'd you buy that? Whatever. You know, what? You need stuff. You need stuff. So the layman leaves that video having no mental picture of Senegal or Gambia. None of its atmospherics. And sadly, above all, there's nothing about this video that would leave you going, man, I gotta go there. Wow, I'd love to go there. Nothing even wet your whistle. You feel me? To just even get you tantalized about it. Nothing. And we're seeing so much of this, man. We're seeing so much of it. Do you know how many gazillion times and how many billions of videos I've scrolled, just trying to get somebody to show a flight from JFK to Senegal? It's a nightmare. I saw one bastard, and he's more interested in his first class experience, that becomes basically, you know, the video. It's not really, you know, what's the airport look like? You know, who picked you up? Did anybody pick you up? What happened? We don't have it. We just don't have it. We don't have it. We don't have it. We don't have it. We just don't have it. So, I will, inshallah, be live with you all on this channel, hopefully before the weekend is out, everybody. And also on, I'm intending to be live on the Jedi Africa as well, because I do also want to announce this new round of fundraising as well. I need to get that moving because we're out of here in November. And I also want to update you to say that I'm not making the trip to Florida, everybody. Joseph and I spoke yesterday. I've been putting him off. And finally, I had to speak to him yesterday. I still had not made that final decision, so he doesn't know that yet as I'm telling it to you. But I'm not going, man. I'm not. Because this would be the month for me to go. And because I wanted to go to Florida to see my best friend, but I didn't want to be rushed. Like, in other words, I, I want to have time between my trip to Florida and when I leave for Africa. I don't want a 5-minute turnaround time. That will just stress me out, and I still have a lot more preparing and ducks to put in a row and things like that. So, and the train is way more than I want to pay. It's $666 one way, please. I'm over it. And for the train, bitch, like I can't. Um, Flights are not reasonable for me at this juncture because, like, I'll do it in November, but I'm not doing it now. What's that, Jedi? I'm not paying for transportation to the airport. The two airports for me are Ontario Airport, which is in Ontario, California. It's in the Inland Empire, and LAX. And both of them, Uber is over $100 to go to the airport because I don't have anyone that can take me to the airport. I don't have a human being that I could call on the phone and say, hey, I need you to take me to the airport. I don't have that. I don't have it. So, like I say, I'm happy to pay that in November, but it's just, again, I'm still in America. So I can't be expending a lot of finances. Do you understand? Because I need every coin for Africa. Every coin. Every coin is going to matter. So so that's the situation with traveling to the airport. So flight would have been out. The train, as I said to you, is too expensive. That's more money than I want to spend to go see my best friend. You understand? And not only that, then I'll have expenditures once I get there. Just incidentals. Like Joseph will take care of me, and all of that. That's fine, but I still need incidentals. I also would need to be spending money on the journey there on the train. You see what I'm saying? So it's now we're way more than $666 one way. We're now getting up to we're getting into a different number now. So that necessarily has to be out. It just can't happen. It just can't happen. It just can't happen. Um, it was a lot, to raise the money, and sadly, had we been able to do what white channels do when they raise money for something important, I would have had way more than we needed, and I wouldn't even be saying these things to you now, and indeed, the trip to Florida could be an easy reality, but I have to pinch, you know. I have to pinch. So that has to be out, and I'll just have to break that to Joseph. Um, when we spoke yesterday, um, when we got off the phone, he said, we'll speak tomorrow. Because I was telling him I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And then, by the way, then I called Greyhound. I actually was on the phone with Greyhound yesterday. Gabrielle, English wasn't her first uh, language, and that's not the most important thing. Outside of that, she was a total disaster. She was a robot. Any question you ask her, she just goes to the script. Like, I can't, because I kept asking her, like, okay, is there any date? Like, if I maybe, like, forget the date that I'm trying to travel. Like, is there another date that is just cheaper, period? And she kept saying, all fares and schedules are subject to change without notice. I was like, bitch, if you tell me that one more time, that's not what I'm asking you. I go, here, Gabriella, let me give you an example. Let's say if I travel on Monday, it's $5. But if I travel on Thursday, it's $3. Do you have anything like that? And I still don't know if she really understood it. So I'm over it, and she needs to die. Anyways, but the Greyhound, how about total cost is damn near $600 because it's 200 and some $238, I believe it is, going, and then 350 something coming back. And also there's a $20 fee for them to process your payment when you call them, and there's a $3 per passenger each way for maintenance or service or something like that. I mean, just so it's just I can't, man. I'm just like, nah. That's a large chunk of money to put out. Um, this close. I can't. You know, because nah. I don't know what I was expecting. When I was saying, I'm gonna travel to Florida. I'm gonna see my best friend. I think I was, I've been traveling back and forth to the East Coast since 2003, and I never ran into any nightmare prices. Just just haven't run into that. So I don't know what has happened, you know. Um, so just to button that up, to say that again, excuse me, the trip to Florida to see my best friend necessarily has to be out. It just must be. And it also must be out because I don't know how much I'll be able to raise from you all. I'm just asking everybody to give what they can. My Cash App is the Jedi 1814, the Jedi 1814, and if I'm not able to raise additional revenue, then my nephew's travel expenses are going to have to come out of my money. You understand? So that would be a double hit to the funding. His travel plus a trip to Florida. Nah, the budget can't sustain that. You just can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. So I do ask everyone to just give what you can, everybody. Um, and, no amount is too small, you know. Um, and I would just appreciate any help on that. So, again, um, I'm intending to be live on this channel before the weekend is out, but I also need to be live on the other channel so that I can also um, make that announcement with regard to the fundraising, and then I do have two pressing issues that I need to bring just as a part of my curriculum on that channel as well. But for now, I'm going to put a period here. I hope that you understand what I have tried to communicate by demonstrating this video to you. The lack of information and why it's so important. Even the things that I was able to fill in for you should demonstrate to you the glaring difference, you know. Um, like I said, once the Jedi is there, you'll really see, like, wow, because at the end of the video, you should feel like you were there. You should feel like you were there, that you spent a day in Senegal or you spent a day in Gambia. You should feel that way. You should feel that way. And you should be able to go and have a conversation with anyone and be able to give them the information. And by default, now you have more information and education on that country. You could speak about it as if you've been there. That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. And that's what I endeavor to do in my work. I love you all. I'll see you soon.